Today we're going to make a noir movie. First of all, you need a trench coat, my guy. Perfect. The second thing is something that you always have with you. Always think, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Then you need something else for your work. Yes, perfect. Then what's the next thing that you need for our detective work? What? Oh my, oh my God! You're not the murderer. You are the detective. If not, the plot doesn't work. Oh my God! Are you crazy? Are you insane? Okay, the lighting is okay, so let's roll. During his birthday party, a detective from a small town will solve a murder that happened on that day, and that's why it's gone crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel where I talk about men's fashion and vintage fashion. Before going forward with another episode of History of Men's Fashion, I have a big announcement that I have to make. So I've decided that for the summer we have a break from this History of Men's Fashion series because the best fits are in the fall and winter for these historical outfits that I want to do. So actually this will be the last episode right now for the moment. I will be back, I think, probably in September or October when the temperatures can go down because honestly I am already sweating just wearing this hat, and doing those fits are pretty heavy, are very wintry. So for me it's total torture because right now it's like I think almost 30 degrees and already I am sweating a lot. The heat is too much in the summer to film those kind of videos. So I'm sorry for all my vintage fans, but unfortunately we have to get this break. So before my break, after the 1930s, we're going to explore a decade that was very difficult because it was impacted from the Second World War, from the rationing, but also Hollywood was still on the top because the noir genre was very successful. So today we're going to dive into the culture and the men's fashion of the 1940s.
Of young people who hold aloft against the
people, each in Casablanca, to keep an appointment with destiny.
I was willing to shoot Captain.
In today's episode of History of Men's Fashion, we're going to dive into a decade that was impacted by the Second World War, that started in 1939 and ended in 1935, by the rationing, the rise of bebop and rock and roll, the triumph of the film noir genre in Hollywood, and a new beginning after the end of the war. They are also called the war years. Today we're going to talk about the 1940s. The Second World War started in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland, and the UK and France declared war 2 days after the invasion. With the rise of new political movements in Europe the decade before, this led to an unstable period in the area. It became a global conflict by the time, started between the Allies and the Axis powers. In this critical period, men were called to join the army, and women were needed in the workforce to replace men. The US started to get involved in the World War in 1941 with the Pearl Harbor attack. Due to this very difficult event at the time, rationing of basic needs was very promoted to also help the army that was involved in the war. Was for managing shortages and control civilians' consumption, and items like sugar, cheese, coffee, dried processed food, and clothes were rationed. Mount Rushmore, a carved mountain with four US presidents, was finished in 1941 in South Dakota. The first computer was made by John Vincent Atanasoff and Clifford Berry in 1942. In Hollywood, Technicolor gets introduced so that movies can be finally colorized, although this process was very expensive, so was used in a few selection of movies at the time. War movies were very present in this decade, like Miss Miniver in 1942 and 30 Seconds Over Tokyo in 1944. And the film noir movies are pretty popular that are crime dramas that have a low-key lighting and unbalanced compositions. Swing music was still the king, and dances like Lindy Hop, Jive, and Jitterbug were trending. Bing Crosby was the most popular music star at this decade. Hip hop, this style of jazz, started to rise in the mid 1940s with artists like Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, Fats Navarro, and more. This difficult climate influenced men's fashion too. The austerity was present also in men's clothing at the time. Menswear at the time was very influenced from the military, and the rationing affected the clothing choices available, especially at the start of the decade. When the war ended in 1945, men's fashion started to become more bold and extravagant. Practicality and functionality were the first priorities instead of style, and there was a limit in the use of fabrics and designs, with natural fibers going to the military. Rayon was started to be used mixed with natural fabrics on suits. Most suits had subdued colors like blue, black, brown, gray, and lighter colors for summer. Pinstripes, tweed, checks, and other suiting patterns were worn in the 40s. The double-breasted suit was still very popular at the time, and suits had broad shoulders that were defined with the inclusion of shoulder pads that gave a bold look. In the United Kingdom, the D-mob suit had a rise that was a suit of civilian clothes given to men returning from the end of the Second World War. The set included a felt hat or flat cap, a double or single-breasted suit, two shirts and a collar, a tie, shoes, and a raincoat. Vests are not used because they were considered unnecessary at the time. It was more popular to wear a knit vest with suits and sports coats. 1940s trousers were worn high-waisted and slightly tapered with a flat or single pleat, were wide and worn with suspenders or belts. Suspenders were worn under the suits or knit vest. 1940s dress shirts were very colorful. Beside the white shirt, men wore also blue, green, gray, yellow, and patterned shirts. They had a single or double cuffs, and they were made of cotton. The zoot suit made its appearance. That was a suit that originated in Harlem in the late 1930s and was adopted from the Afro-American and Latin community in the US. Most men altered the larger suits to make their zoot suits and was characterized from broad shoulder, cinched waist, and extended length. Became popular especially between jazz folks and became a target of police violence in the 1943 Zoot riots in Los Angeles. I will make a proper video on the Zoot suit and its history in the near future. Ties became the main way for men to express their personality, with short and white ties that were bold and colorful, with various designs. Wow, it would be actually insane if I had a 1940s tie for an addicted guy like me, but probably I have one in my huge collection that I will show very soon. Color states were very popular at the time, and sweaters are worn over a shirt with trousers with colors like brown, mustard, green, dark red, and more. Classic patterns like argyle were favored on knits. Casual shirts make their impact on this decade with bold patterns and the introduction of a lot of shirts that were very popular during vacation and summertime with tropical patterns all over these shirts. The flight jacket gets favored because of its versatility, and the Ayrton jacket became trendy. Matching shirt and trouser sets were for workers and coveralls are used. Post-war knit shirts were on the rage with various patterns and were very effective on showing the physique. T-shirts also saw a rise, and flannel shirts are used in workwear. Wool became the main material that was used because it was durable and warm. V-neck sweaters make their trendy entry and are worn with a tie underneath. The trench coat was still very trendy and worn by stars like Humphrey Bogart and Peter Sellers. An iconic 40s jacket is the gabardine jacket that was made of rayon and cotton. The fedora is still on top, steady and stable on the charts with the Hamburg in the second position. Oxford shoes are still the main shoes with options like loafers, boots, and sneakers, similar to Converse. Socks were pretty colorful and had designs like argyle, stripes, and Art Deco inspired. Glasses were oval shaped or round, with aviator sunglasses getting trendy. So after we explore the 1940s men's fashion and culture, I'm going to show you my three inspired outfits from this decade. Actually, the 1940s were very stylish, even if there is the war and the rationing, still the fits were a banger. The silhouette was very similar to the 1930s men's fashion, and also the muted colors weren't that bad, honestly. Like, the fits were still banging at that time. And what I love also of the 1940s men's fashion is the introduction of the Aloha shirt, because for me it's a staple for summer men's fashion right now in this heat. They are so cool and so fun, and you can pair them in many ways. The thing that I like about 1940s men's fashion are the epcats or hipster, depending on what you call them, because their style was really lit and cool. I like different pattern and the ties and the silhouette and the fits of those jazz musicians. I did already a video about the Epcot subculture in the past, so I will leave it up here or down below. And an icon if you want to be stylish for the 1940s, especially like if we talk about music, I think his Dizzy Gillespie. His beret and glasses and blazers were top notch. So the 1940s icons that you should follow if you want your fits to be fresh, I think, like for me, in my opinion, I have four this time. The first one is Burt Lancaster, the second one is Humphrey Bogart, the third one is James Stewart, and the fourth one is Cary Grant, in my opinion. Oh yeah, before I forget, this is in the first place of my wish list because I wanted it since I found it and I saw it on Pinterest one day a long time ago, and is the zoot suit. Like, the zoot suit is very, very underrated in my opinion. I don't see zoot suits anywhere. I want to find them at the thrift or flower market, but they are impossible. They are so, so rare. Like, the only thing that you can resemble a zoot suit is maybe if you put an oversized blazer, but it's not the same feeling, you know. I want the real zoot suit because they are so stylish and honestly underappreciated in men's fashion. And probably most people, they will even laugh at it because they don't think it's a stylish option. But for me, zoot suits are fire. Like, if someone gives me a zoot suit, I will like cry. I will cry for real. And honestly, I have to find a zoot suit maybe online, buy it or make it custom because I want a zoot suit right now. Like, that's my top priority right now. So without further ado, let's see my inspired outfits. So for this first look, I was inspired from the 1940s sweaters outfit. So I'm wearing my V-neck sweater vest that is made of argyle I took some years ago, with my gabardine jacket that I thrifted at the flower market here in my hometown, I think 2 years ago. So that was a rare find. And I'm wearing my thrifted tie with my button-up shirt that has short sleeves, only because I was dying of heat and sweat, like I was watering, like literally. So I'm wearing my button-up shirt with short sleeves with my high-waisted trousers paired with my Oxford shoes, and to finish the look I'm wearing my fedora hat that was the iconic hat also for the 1940s. And this look is very preppy and casual. So for this second look, I was already on vacation, probably, like my mind was already on vacation. So think about sandy beaches, clear water, a cocktail, like chilling with the breeze on your body, like super chill. And I was inspired from the 1940s Aloha shirt that was introduced in this decade. So I'm wearing my thrifted blue Aloha shirt that I thrifted some years ago, probably 2 years ago, with my high-waisted trousers paired with my argyle socks and my Rockport loafers. And to finish the look, I'm wearing my vintage sunnies. And this look is very tropical, it's very chill, it's very beach vibe, it's very everything like vacation. For vacation, this is top notch. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I put my next video. And yes, my fellas, I will see y'all very soon on the next one. I will not tell you what it's about, but it's going to be something always for the summer and this time because the heat is here and it was very fun. The next episode of History of Men's Fashion will come out in the fall, guys. So just a little break right now. Enjoy the summer, and the next videos will be about other topics. And I will see y'all very soon, my fellas. See ya. Oh, mamma mia. I am sweating so much. Make me sweat. Make me harder. Make me lose my breath. Make me water. Oh my god. Make me sweat. Make me harder. Make me lose my breath. Make me water. My mood. I think my only suspect is the heat. This is not looking good for our detective retroazul. This is not looking good at all.